Well, it's modding time, is what I'd normally say if I had parts, but I actually don't have any parts yet. I'm going to blame the supply chain on that one. So let's try some freebies. That's right, free 99. What can we do to this bike that is free 99? I can think of a couple of small things off the bat. One of the things right away with any brand new bike is getting rid of the tinsel and trim and lovely warning stickers all over. A couple of other things in my research with these bikes. I think a few things I want to do is get rid of this gigantic foam padded cover that I don't think is quite necessary, and so we'll have to swap out a couple of bolts, but otherwise is free. And then let's see about doing something to this rear. I know there's a lot of aftermarket parts available for fender eliminator kits, but they're like 50 bucks at the very least. Some of them are even $100. It's kind of ridiculous when they give you a bracket right here. So let's see about trying to modify what we have already and just shorten it up a little bit. I think there's something possible there. So we got some progress done. Front reflectors are off, that was nice and easy. Rear is getting taken care of right now, so it's kind of more or less disassembled. All right, so here's where we're at. I've gotten everything pretty much disassembled and cut, and I have this mounted back up. There's still some more cuts that I need to do, but I've been playing around with this and just kind of roughly fitting things. And so I think what the goal is here is using these two existing holes. I'm going to mount it to this with, I'm going to drill a hole here on each side and then mount them with an angle with a 90-degree L bracket there. The L bracket I thought was going to use some of these pieces, but they're a little fiddly, so I actually have some scrap laying around from my garage door. So I'm going to use this, and I think after some more drilling and some more cutting and some more fiddling, I think I will have a free 99 license plate fender eliminator kit. All right, we did it, sort of. Almost there. On this bracket, thankfully, these holes are equally lined apart, about an inch or so from the opposite side. And so knowing that, I cut it in two particular spaces so I can use the existing holes on that garage door bracket for the top here and then on the inside. So it pushes it back a little bit so I don't have to drill a hole here. I can just use the end of this kind of cutout right here. So that's where I'm at, and it's basically mocked up exactly how I want it. The only thing is to trim this. So as you can see, I got a couple of Sharpie marks here for where to cut it off right here. I'll round it off. And then these two marks right here kind of indicate, as you can kind of see, the hole doesn't quite line up right there. So to get it to line up, I need to kind of make an indentation right here where this bracket can line up. So I marked up a couple spots right there where roughly the amount that I need to take off from here and basically how far up the bracket I need to take out that spot. So this kind of fits in nice and snug. Just a couple more cuts and we should be moving right along. All right, grind complete. So these are the two pieces I actually flipped and have the flat piece on the connecting them, kind of sandwiched together like this. And it was actually a lot easier, so that way I can make them perfectly uniform with the angle grinder. And I just filed it down. So we got this nice little insert right here. Did a quick test fit and everything lines up perfect right there. This is gonna be, whoops, well, this is going to be a piece of the finished product. And I think just kind of how it is like this, I might want to take off a little bit of this bottom so it's not completely angled off like that. It doesn't need to be anymore. It can kind of, might even just do a flat cut across right here. And so we'll probably do that and then file that down just a little bit more. And then now that I've had these all hacked up, I might as well just like clean the whole thing, and I think I'll just paint it. Maybe paint it black so it kind of blends in a little bit. I think I'll do that.
The next day.
Here we go, day 2. Got a quick black paint job, so we're letting that dry. But in the meantime, let's keep going with these. All right, so here's the engine and the cover that it has. It might be hard to tell on camera, but this is a huge plastic piece, and there's a lot of space right here between the actual clutch plate and the outside here. So there's a lot of foam behind this, and I don't think it's really necessary. We could probably get rid of it to save some space, as well as potentially getting rid of the problem of having water, mud, whatever fit in there and not come out, and that could, you know, possibly corrode the actual metal behind it. So I believe there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts to take this thing off. And then basically we'll just replace it with some shorter bolts. So I actually took this from a YouTube channel I found called Dad's Domain. He has a lot of Hondas, and particularly the playlist with the 450L. I've pretty much watched like every single one of his videos when I was looking at getting this bike. He had a great image of all the bolts sizes that need to be replaced. So while this is not technically free 99, I did have to go to Home Depot and get some bolts, but it's like $2 I think for all of them, so it's basically free. We'll put an asterisk there, but free-ish. Well, that was easy. This is what the engine looks like without the cover, and here's the bolts. Slight difference here from the OEM hardware, but who's gonna tell? Now we gotta do the other side, and then we'll be done. One more thing off the checklist. Whoops, it's a few weeks later, and editing the video, I realized I forgot to show you this side. So there's actually 3 bolts you have to worry about here to replace. 1, 2, and 3. So just like that, those are the 3 bolts that you need to get in order to replace those. Now let's get back to the rear fender, see how that turned out. Spoiler, turned out pretty good. That is some quality free work right there. Looks really good, uses all the existing hardware, so it's not gonna go anywhere. This is solidly on there. Yeah, this was painted earlier, but I messed it up. Actually, to be honest, I kind of messed up the rest of the paint, but this one was the worst, so just sanded it down. I'm not bothered by it. I think bolting this on wraps up my free 99 work. Got everything done that we could do with what I have laying around. Guess we're just gonna have to wait for actual parts to show up, so until then.